Welcome back. Welcome if you're new to the channel. I am Lauren Ringer and I am your surf coach from House of Surf, where you can learn everything you need to know on how to surf or begin your learning to surf journey. Today's video is everything you need to know about cutback surfing. We are going to dive deep into this video. We are going to look at everything from what is a cutback, what are the two types of cutbacks, what's the difference between a cutback or a roundhouse cutback. I will break down the forehand and backhand cutback step by step, and I'll leave a little teaser for you at the end if you stick around to watch the whole video. Please like, subscribe, turn the notifications on if you enjoy these videos and support this channel. Alright guys, let's get stuck into the first section. So first up, what is a cutback? So a cutback is a turn that takes the surfer back towards the break-in part of the curl. Now, there are two types of cutbacks that you need to be aware of. Let's take a look at the first one. We're going to have our frontside cutback demonstrated by Alana Blanchard. And it's a beautiful looking frontside cutback. And Coco Ho on her backside. Now, what is the difference between a cutback and a roundhouse cutback? Well, I'm about to show you. So let's play this out and we will go through it together. The biggest difference is the lines in which you will draw on the wave to perform the different maneuvers. So the surfer on our left is performing the roundhouse, and she will take more of a figure eight to come back off the white water and then travel back down on the wave. And the surfer on our left is performing a regular cutback, and she'll just go to the shoulder, come back to the power source, and then travel back onto the open face in more of an S-shaped turn. Have a little look again. And those two different maneuvers will require different bottom turns. They will require the timing to be different. You will hold your compression lower on your roundhouse as you draw that board back up to the lip and rebound off the white water. And you'll also choose to do those maneuvers at different times depending on the wave, depending on what's in front of you, and maybe even depending on what kind of speed you want to generate. So just bear that in mind. But that's the biggest difference, is the roundhouse is more of a figure of eight and your cutback is more of an S shape. Alright, so now we're going to break it down step by step on how to perform a frontside cutback. Number 1, generate enough speed and eye your path towards the shoulder of the wave. Number 2, shallow bottom turn, transfer weight to your back foot and place it near your tail kicker. Number 3, stay low and compress as you drive up and away from the curl. Number 4, transfer your weight from your toe side rail to your heel side rail. Number 5, rotate your hips, arms and head around as you extend your body into the turn. Number 6, light pressure on your front foot and turn your head over your outside shoulder. Number 7, allow your lean arm to guide you and control the extent of your cutback. Number 8, extend your body out of the turn. So we are now going to go and look at how to perform a backside cutback. We're going to break this down step by step. Now it's important to note here that there are a few differences between the front side and the backside cutback. So be sure to go through all the sequence of steps just so that you make sure that you know exactly how to do it. So let's get started. Number 1, generate enough speed and eye your path towards the shoulder of the wave. Number 2, shallow bottom turn, transfer your weight to your back foot and place it near your tail kicker. Number 3, stay low and compressed as you drive up and away from the curl. Number 4, lean backwards and transfer your weight onto your heels. Number 5, rotate your hips, open your leading arm, shoulder and head around as you extend through the turn. Number 6, light pressure on your front foot and turn your head over your outside shoulder. Number 7, allow your leading arm to guide you and control the extent of your cutback. Number 8, lower your leading hand to help keep your trunk weight forward to bring your board around. Number 9, extend your body out of the turn. Number 10, maintain a weighted back leg, pressing on your back foot toes to make the recover easier. Okay, cool. So let's get into some video coaching. Using a split screen here with a kind of like an intermediate surfer, and then obviously like with Elite Pro. So let's see how the difference is pretty extreme here with this cutback. But what's kind of cool is you will totally learn some epic tips from this. Alright, so get stuck into the more intermediate surfer on the left here. So straight up, you'll notice like a bit more of a shallow bottom turn and not as much speed from her takeoff, whereas Coco's a little bit deeper, and that just means that she's really about to compress her body in a second here, whereas the surfer on the left is quite tall here. But watch Coco Ho literally like dig that rail in and then look up, almost squares her shoulders straight to the wave here, and with that compression, she's got all that speed to then just like let go of it, almost like an elastic band, and as she extends upwards, that will bring her whole turn around, and that will be the speed that she'll need. Whereas if you notice towards the end of this video, the intermediate surfer actually loses quite a lot of speed after her turn. Okay, another thing here is her arms. Look at the arms of Coco now, like almost like a T shape as she throws them both up, whereas surfer on the left, she's kind of like the trailing arms pretty low. And one of the biggest things actually here is the leading arm, right? So her leading arm is really high, whereas if you watch Coco in a second, watch that arm really come down with that board to then kind of really rotate that whole trunk. So pretty much there. So as she's rotated her trunk, she's then extended. That's an extension that I mentioned. That extension is what's driving that board around, and watch her like fully extend here, trailing arms nice and high, and then back into that kind of compression after she's completed the turn. Whereas the beginner surfer, what you notice too is, watch this, her eyes are looking about here, and in a second she'll cut. See that she's cut out of that turn really quickly. Ideally, she could have come way further around here. That would have been much better for her speed to have come right around here. And then she cuts out. See, her arms are both kind of like dangling a little bit. Whereas prior to, so just take this back a little bit, look at Coco's trailing arms really high. That leading arm is lower, so she can bring her trunk around. Boom. Into a beautiful backside cutback. And then now this is what you'll notice what I talked about with the speed. Yeah, she's lost a lot of speed here. So for her to then think about doing anything over here would be really difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus again on the intermediate surfer, take it back a little bit. Okay, so, right, okay, so coming down here, lower, way lower, like really nice and tight with a compression would have been much better. Going into that backhand with a trailing arm nice and high. So we are here now. Yep, so look, this is the trailing arm here. And brings that board with that decompression into the extension right round. Would have been better, would have been a better turn for her. And would have been some pretty cool improvements on her existing surfing. And then, like I said before, with her eyes, if her eyes were eyeing this pass, she would have brought that board further around where she could catch a little bit more speed with the pocket of the wave. So I'll talk about this in just a second with the rest of the video, but this is the power source here. So if she could bring that cutback further round, she would have had more speed as she came out of that. And that's what you'll notice here with Coco. She brings it right around back to the pocket, resets, and then off she goes again. So there's a few tips there, guys. I hope that helps. It's always good to get video coaching. There's nothing like it. It's an amazing way to like fully break down frame by frame of what each surfer is doing, and it's also pretty cool to be able to compare yourself with someone who's doing it well. So that's it. So now we're gonna chat a little bit about when to do a cutback, and this maneuver is normally one of the first maneuvers that intermediate surfer will be able to do. It requires a lot of speed. That's really, really important, and they're actually extremely useful maneuvers to implement into your surfing repertoire. There's a few reasons for that, because one of the most important is you would perform a cutback if you want to stay close to the power source of the wave. And what I mean by that is that where the power source is where that sort of nice white fluffy breaking lip is, and every time you return to that area you generate more speed. So it's about generating speed or maintaining your speed. Cutbacks also are so incredibly handy because they set you up for another maneuver. So for example, you would perform, you take off, you get some speed, you do a cutback, and then you could go then into a linking maneuver, like a top turn eventually, and that way you're sort of building a bit of a repertoire of maneuvers on the single wave. It's also a really handy maneuver to do if you're surfing through any flat spots. You cut back to the path of the wave, and then you travel across those kind of like deeper parts of water where you can't quite get over. And now I want to hear from you. I want to know in the comments below how this video has helped you. Let me know what other videos you'd like me to do, and go out there, practice, have a lot of fun, and be well.